So today I'm going to be going over an endometriosis exercise routine with you. The combination that I take is kind of a barre slash yoga slash Pilates approach. But obviously with any exercise, you need to take it at your own pace, whatever feels good. I'm going to show you modifications for if something is just a bit too painful or puts pressure in places you shouldn't be having pressure. So definitely take it at your own pace. If there's something that you just don't want to do, skip it. Just breathe, go into Shavasana and relax. So to start off, we are going to stand about hip width apart, nice soft bend in your knees. Never lock your knees, cuts off the blood flow, really bad. So just keep them gentle, and we're going to stand in mountain pose. So when you're in mountain pose, make sure that your shoulders are back and that you have weight in your lower pelvic region. So the way to protect your lower back is not to have it arching like this. We want to tuck the tailbone under. So make sure you're nice and lifted from your belly button in and your tailbone is tucked under, and you're going to breathe. So breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. We'll do one more of those. Through the nose and out through the mouth. Just relax, breathe, smile. Smiling helps. And then you're going to go ahead and we're going to focus on a pressure point that really helps with any kind of dull, achy pain. So I'll show you another pressure point that deals with kind of sharper, stabby pain and when to use that. But for right now, this point right here in your palm next to your thumb, so kind of that little joint between the two, is where you're going to be focusing on pushing. You don't need to push too hard, you can kind of gently massage it. So we're going to go ahead and breathe in, lifting our arms up, where my arms get cut off on the video, but I'm going to go ahead and grab this point, and you're going to tilt to your right hand side, or my right, I guess, while pulling your left arm over, making sure that you're putting pressure on that place between your forefinger and your thumb. And just keep breathing here. As you breathe in, lift up through the side, and breathe out by taking a deeper bend. And breathe in, reach up again. You're going to switch hands, this time putting pressure on your opposite hand. For me, that's my right. And you're going to go ahead and lift up, breathe in and breathe out, tilting over to the other side, making sure you're keeping that soft, low bend in your knees. Lots of things to think about. In and out, and one more little stretch here, lifting up, and breathe out as you lower your hands down. Now we're going to go ahead into second position. If you do dance, you're going to have your feet turned out. Now this is going to depend on what's comfortable for you, how far you spread your feet out. We're not going to say spread our legs. So you're going to go ahead and take a nice soft bend. Now if you can bend lower down, great, sink into that. Make sure you're again keeping that belly button tucked in and your lower tailbone, well, your tailbone tucked under, making sure that you're protecting that lower back and not letting it jut out. If you need to stop at about here, that's fine. Just whatever you do, even if you need to come back up for a minute, don't lock out those knees. So just keep it nice and bent and soft. So you're going to go ahead and take a pulse here. Now you can have your arms out, you can put them on your sides, whatever helps you keep your balance the most while taking this pulse. Again, if you're needing to be up high, just keep a little bit of bend here. You can just bend right here, or you can just stay. You don't need to be pulsing at all. This is just to give you a bit of a burn and work through these thighs. And it also opens up your pelvic region. I know that for a lot of us that can be very tight. Now you're going to go ahead and stop. If you need to stop at a bit of a higher point than you were at, that's fine. If you can stay lower, you're going to go ahead and lift one foot up, well, one heel up, and then the other. So this is going to burn a bit. It burns for me. And you're just going to keep doing this back and forth. Now again, you don't have to do this. If this is too much for you, then just stop and pulse, or just stay to bend as high up or low as you need. But if you can, Just do a couple more of these. Make sure you're breathing. Make sure that tailbone is tucked under. You're bringing it up to your belly button. Great. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and stretch those legs out. So if you go ahead and stand about hip distance apart again, you're going to bend your knees softly and you're going to follow your legs down. Now, if that means you have to stop here, that's fine. If you need to stop here, that's also fine. If you can go down, great, but you don't have to. Now you're going to go ahead and just rock back and forth. So you're just kind of taking this motion with your heels. So if you need to do it at this level, do that. If you need to do it here, then do that. If you can go down, then go down. Make sure that you're breathing. Never stop breathing. Just rock it. So it's to stretch out those legs, the back of your hamstrings, and to just give your pelvis some momentum here. Great. Now you're going to go ahead and slowly, one vertebrae at a time, roll up and roll those shoulders back. Fantastic. Now we're going to go ahead and go down onto the mat. Hello. So now you are down here on the mat, however you wanted to get here. And we're going to go ahead and start by putting our legs into this kind of long oval shape. Because I don't have cat fur all over my feet. So this long oval shape, you're wanting to go ahead and sit up as tall as possible. And then we're going to go ahead and run our thumbs along the inside of our calves. Now you're wanting to look at kind of the, I don't know what it's called, but the ball of your ankle, that outward jutting bone. And you're going to go ahead and follow it kind of in a straight line up the side of your calf to just below your knee. Now that entire line is really good to push on when you're experiencing sharp, sudden pain. It's kind of hard to do if you're wearing leggings to get a smooth motion all up and down that line, but it's something I really recommend if you are in a bath, for example. It's one of my favorite pressure points to hit if I'm really sore and just needing to take a nice warm bath with Epsom salts and run my thumbs along this line. You may notice as you run it up and down that there are some spots that are more tender, they're quite sore. Now that's something that if you have the time, definitely focus on massaging those out a little bit, because that's something that can be linked to that sharp, sudden pain. Now if you go over to the other leg, whatever feels good in massaging this particular area. Some people, especially if you're not wearing leggings that bunch up, can run their thumb all the way up and down. I kind of take a little baby step approach to massaging out this part of the muscle, seeing if I come across any kind of sore spots. Great. Once you've given that a nice kind of pressure point session, then you're going to go ahead and get onto your back with your knees up. Now I know for some people it's really painful to just go straight into lying down on your back, so you don't need to do that. If you're needing a gentle way to get onto your back, take your hands to the side first and tuck your knees in, go down onto one elbow and then roll over like that. So it's kind of a half step down. I'm going to move that a little. Great. Once you're here on your back, you're going to go ahead and bring your legs up to a tabletop position. If that is too much for you, leave one foot down and just hover the other one up. If you can get both, great. You're going to want to try to make sure that you don't have this gap here underneath your back. Push it down into your mat as much as possible. Sometimes that means you may need to bring your legs a bit closer. If you're starting to shake and you don't like that shake feeling, then bring them closer as you need to. But if you can, hold them out and hold them up at this 90-degree angle, great. You're going to go ahead and tap one foot down and then lift it up, and then the other foot down and lift it up. You're going to feel a bit of a burn, a bit of a shake here in your lower abdominal muscles, And again, if that is too much for you, if that hurts anywhere, leave them here or leave one leg up and the other leg down. You don't have to do anything that doesn't feel good. So just go ahead, make sure you breathe, your back is pressed firmly against that mat, and just tap one foot and then the other foot. Great. Now you're going to go ahead and put both feet down firmly on the ground. And again, this is an exercise that some people find it just really doesn't work for them. So if it doesn't, just lay here breathing, make sure that your tailbone is tucked under, belly button is tucked in, and breathe. But if you can, you're going to go ahead and rise up into a bridge pose. And you're going to take one breath here in and out as you lower down slowly. We're going to do 3 of those. So number 2, breathe in, lift up, and lower down, breathe out. And one more, breathe in, and lower down, breathe out. Fantastic. Now we're going to go ahead and use an empty wall if you're by it. If you are not by a wall, that's fine. You could do some of these exercises by laying here. When I show you against the wall the crossover, you can do it with one leg up, one leg over. I'll explain it to you in a minute. But if you are next to an empty wall, you're going to go ahead and shimmy around to the wall and put both of your legs up. Now for some people, their back can't handle this. So you can go ahead and take a pillow and put it wherever you need to. If you need to put it under your head, great. If you need to put it under your tailbone, also great. Whatever works best for you, that is what that pillow is there for. So go ahead, have your legs up, make sure you're keeping a bend. You don't have to be firmly against the wall. You can have them a bit at an angle. And then you're gonna go ahead and cross one leg over the other. So you're wanting to aim to be right at about your knee with that leg open there. And then if you need a deeper stretch, you can bend your supporting leg up. So for me, that's my left leg that is stretched out, and I'm going to move it towards me to get a deeper stretch through my pelvis. That may be too much for you. If it is, then just go ahead and leave that supporting leg up with slight bend. And if it's still too much to have this leg here at all, go ahead and uncross it. Just leave them up like that. So if you want to switch over to the other leg, then go ahead and pull it closer to you, making sure, again, that your back, your spine is pressed firmly against the mat. You don't want any disc slippage or anything like that. Hopefully this feels good for you. I find this really good for opening up my pelvis, especially in these tighter areas. I know some people that can just bring that foot close to them. I am not one of them. That's as far as I can go. Great. So you're gonna go ahead and shimmy so your bum is right up against the wall. Now this is something that if you can only get here, good, leave it there. But if you can, relax and let your legs slide open, again, keeping a gentle bend in your knees, then hopefully that is a nice feeling all through your pelvis as you widen it up. If you can get your pelvis to relax so you don't feel any twitching, no sharp pains, hopefully this is a really relaxing exercise for you. And it's something that you can do to also improve your flexibility if that's something that you're looking to do. I always love just sitting, reading with a book and in this position. But for some people it may be too much, so you may need to leave your legs a bit closer together, and even that much is still giving your pelvis the opportunity to widen a little bit and stretch it just a bit. So whatever feels right to you and doesn't put too much pressure here, then do it. And if you want to go ahead and take one hand over your heart, one hand over your belly, we're just going to do 3 deep breaths. In through the nose, and out through the mouth. 2. And last one. Great. Now coming out of this can be a bit challenging. You're going to go ahead and bring those legs up. If you need to hold them as they come up, Then go ahead and pull it to you and roll over onto your side and up. Now for some people, this is their favorite exercise. It's one of mine. This is cat-cow, so I'm gonna go ahead and tuck my shirt in. And you're gonna want your knees about hip width apart, shoulders, arms hip width apart. Again, keeping a nice gentle bend in things. And you're gonna go ahead and breathe out as you push your back up like a cat. And a nice deep breath in as you lift up, arching your spine. If you need to give it a bit of a wiggle, I find that sometimes that helps, especially with my tailbone. And breathe out. Feel free to drop your neck fully, swing it around a bit. Do another one. There's no need for absolute stillness here. Whatever feels good, give yourself permission to swing around if you need to. Great. Now, again, last pose that's going to give you a bit of a burn here is if you can, and you can manage the balance, you're going to reach your right arm and your left leg out in opposite directions. And you're going to go ahead and pull it in. We'll do 3 of these. Out, and pull it in, out, and pull it in. Great, set it down. If you can't manage that, that is fine. You can stay here, you can keep cat-cowing, you can just work on breathing, whatever works for you. If you want to go to the opposite side, reach out, crunch in, reach out, reach in, reach out, crunch in. We're going to repeat that one more time. So you're going to go ahead and reach out and crunch in. Make sure you're breathing. Crunch in. Last one. Crunch in. Set it down. Last side. Out. Crunch in. Out. Crunch in. And control it with your breath. Move with it. Great. Now again, another pose, child's pose, that sometimes people do not jive with. If you find that opening up your hips wide and putting your toes together like you do in child's pose a lot of the time, then close your knees closer together and just sit back and reach out. If that is too much, then you don't need to do that either. Whatever feels best for you. If you have a hard time with your knees especially, maybe you want to stay in that cat-cow position. Sorry, my cat is walking by. I hope you can't see that. You're gonna go ahead and reach out. And let your spine lengthen and let your lower back completely stretch out. If you can't get all the way to the ground, that is fine. If you need to sit up like this, just make sure that you're tucking your head in to protect your spine and that you're getting that stretch. If you need to have your arms turned up so that you reach out, whatever works best for you. Don't push yourself too far. You shouldn't walk away from this feeling sore. Well, only a good sore. Right. So you're gonna go ahead and take 3 deep breaths here. Fantastic. You go ahead and sit up, turn over, and finally, what we've all been waiting for, Shavasana. Now I have a hard time laying completely flat with my back on the ground, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this pillow underneath my legs to help support my spine as I tuck it under and relax. Whatever you need to do so that you can relax at this point. And again, remember, if you need help getting down, go to your elbow first and then slide over onto your back. You can leave your arms out here with your palms facing open. You can put them both on your belly. You can put one on your belly, one on your heart. to whatever feels relaxing. Thank you so much for participating in this fitness routine with me. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully you can treat yourself afterwards because you did a fantastic job. Thanks so much.